Hello there. This video is meant to help you interpret the progress report. Each student in middle school math has a progress report 2021 that has been started. It's been shared with the teacher and all actually middle school math teachers, Mr. Peabody, Ms. Kanak, Ms. Vera, and Mr. Toribio, along with the primary parent and guardian. This is meant to be the sheet that says how you're doing in math class. In middle school math, of course, just like at UPrep Middle School, the letters that we use are E, M's, W's, and N's. And so this progress report reflects those and how you do on each of the assessments that are given, and then creates a final score. So it's more like all these multiple assessments help to show your progress in middle school math. For example, here in this Unit 1 in Statistics, which is just finished, you've had at least 4 quizzes. There has not been a project in this one just because we're still online and we have not done a project yet. If scores come in that assess your achievement on any of these learning targets in a project, they go there. Let's pretend I put in these scores right now for Peabody, David, and a little bit about them. In each of these cells goes the E, M's, W's, and N's, and there's a final score that is meant to be an average of all of them. E's score a 4, M score a 3, W score a 2, and N score a 1. So if you'd like more details on how it all is averaged, let your math teacher know. You can kind of click on this and kind of see the code that helps calculate them. But let's say you really need 3 to start a score, just because we want there to be a trend to develop before you really get concerned about your first quiz score. This number 3 that computes for a missing data point, say I got a W, and then I got an M and another M and then an M on the test. It changes it to an M. Say on number 2, I compute for the mean, median, and mode. I got a MWW. We assess that quite often, a W, and then I got an M on the test. Even that wasn't enough to change my score to be an M, so my final score is a W. We'll put a couple of these in and see what they become just for kicks. And that's okay. And say on this last one, because we didn't do a lot of scatter plots, and it was the last learning target, and we only had 1 on a quiz. Say, for example, you got a W on it, but then you got the E question. We put an E question on there to do a scatter plot and then answer some inference questions on it. They were kind of tough. If you got an E on it and say the teacher wanted to override that, they could make your score an E. We keep track of all these things. And so your unit average there, this one up there, it's just another indicator that shows of all the times all the learning targets have been assessed, what proportion you got an M or an E on them. So this is an 86%. We also keep track of sometimes how many triple M's you have. So for example, on this learning target 3, you got an M on the quiz 3, quiz 4, and the test. That counts as a triple M. It just shows mastery over time and consistent mastery for those learning targets. It's something that when you and the other math teachers have a conversation on next steps and how you can improve in middle school math, it's just one of those indicators. Okay, I think you'll see this populate over time. So on this first unit, your teacher should be sharing it with you shortly, and you can see what you did on the quizzes and double check that shows up on this Google grade sheet. If you have a question on how things are like input, or maybe you weren't quite sure how you did on the quiz, let your math teacher know. This is meant to open up the lines of communication, and so it's always transparent how you're doing in middle school math. Thanks a lot.